Hello and welcome to week 12 in Sociology and Technology, and we are taking on chapter 11 where we look at the interaction between technology and human beings. Now this is an entire field that we refer to as ergonomics. Now ergonomics, you'll often see ergonomics as applied to let's say the analysis of my desk space here, how high my chair should be, where should my computer be in terms of, am I looking up at it, straight across at it, or am I looking down at it? You know, and the best position is to be looking down on it just a little bit. And how high the desk is, whether my feet are on the ground or not, the lighting, all of these things that would be optimal for human performance interacting with technology. You're at the gas pumps and you're holding on to that handle. Now, there's all kinds of things that we could have used to turn on the gas. Could have been a dial, could have been a button with the thumb, but research showed that we have the most hand strength when we grip onto a handle and we pull with all four fingers. So that made the gas pump more accessible to more people because it actually took advantage of one of our strongest sets of muscles, which is right here on our forearm in terms of our fingers. Way better than the dialing one, way better than a pump that we would press with our thumb. We all know, and it's all four fingers. Everybody knows you have those squirt bottles, and those get fatiguing after a while, the way they're held. But that handle, big handle on it, and hold on to that grip. And what did they put that little lever in it so it just holds it in place so you don't have to hold it the whole time? That's brilliant engineering. You think about the thought, that design that went into that, so that those are now universal until they come up with a better pump. That's it. That's what we're. Interestingly enough, the electric cars, some of them snap in, some of them turn. I'm not really familiar with all of them, but it's interesting that working on the ergonomics for that, and there's actually a call out into the electric car industry to standardize that. Let's make them all the same, just like we make all the gas pumps the same. Stuff like that, just so we can have universal access. So now it also has to do with all the psychological aspects of working in a industry, and all the sociological things that are going on, culture and norms and all of that, all contribute to organizational ergonomics, which is a lot of what we're going to be looking at. So the chapter 11 discussion, I'm asking you to consider those things like the gas pump, or your steering wheel, or the control mechanisms on a remote. So there's a tiny little remote for my video camera here. Way too small, but they wanted it really small. But it's interesting, just the idea, if you look really closely, you'll see over here on the other side, right here, you'll see that the stop button is in red. All the other writing on here is white. There's a psychology behind that, so I avoid that button, and get mistaken, stop the video or whatever. I don't want to be doing that. But aside from that, it's not very ergonomic. You'll see that the arrow keys here, in terms of setting things up, changing channels or moving forward or those kind of things, using arrows that point in a direction rather than just a little round button. The shape of that button actually tells you something about the function of that button. There is science in all of that. So look around your house, look around your workplace, and find these things that exist within your world that express ergonomic engineering. So that's our discussion. The assignment, I'm actually leading you to a resource online, and that resource is available in the course book. So we're going to take a look at the course book here. Here's chapter 11, and we're looking at the assignment here. And if you read through this assignment, step 1 is select an organization to evaluate. It could be even your family, your work, school, club, team, or whatever, any social group. And then you're going to complete this assessment here. This links to an actual document right here. and you're going to answer these questions. And the way this happens is like the organization is a very personal space. It is like an extended family. People seem to share a lot of themselves. You're going to put points in how much is that represented now and how much it would be preferred. Now, the way this works is if you read through these instructions, you're provided, you have to divide 100 points among the 4 alternatives depending on the extent to which each alternative is similar to your own organization. So here you have 4 items. You have 25 points to distribute. You have 100 points to distribute here. If it was all the same, it'd be 25, 25, 25, 25. And you have 100 points to distribute here. And you do the same thing here. What is it like now? Distribute your 100 points there. What would you like it to be preferred for each one of these? Then you go down here and you score them. Write the now scores and then the preferred scores. And you're going to take those scores and you're going to put them into these A, B, C, D, now and then. And then this is going to produce, you're going to take that and you're going to graph it on this chart. See, this goes, this is a certain number of points this way, 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 based on these right here. So you have A, B, C, these ratings. This is an example right here. So 55, 20, 20, and 5. So A, B, C, and D. You would graph those A, B, C, and D. Going around there. And then once you have those points, you link those points in a graphic that looks like this. So in this example, let's say the red is what it is today, what it is now, and the blue represents what you would want it to be. So these scores right here, the points on the red, were the ones that got hierarchy, clan, adhocracy, and market. And then we kind of moved the needle on each one of these, and it kind of created this overlapping shape. So the red means where we are, the blue means where we want to go. So this is a spot-on tool to measure the organizational ergonomics of your organization that you pick. Again, your work, your family, school, whatever. Read all of these instructions to understand how to do this, and then read my instructions on how to create this graphic. So that one graphic that I provided for you right here, you can download that. You can put this in presentation software like PowerPoint or Keynote, and you can draw a square. And you can move the points of the square in a way that this is a function within the graphics of those particular tools. And then you could shade them different colors, work on the transparency so you can see them, and you'll end up with a graphic that looks a lot like this right here. You'll have drawn those based on one is what it is now, and the other one is what you would like it to be. So that assignment is to get this idea of how we use assessment tools to actually measure organizational ergonomics. We are also still doing Tangle number 3. And sometime this week, I'm going to be posting Tangle number 4. And you can get right into that as soon as it's there. I'll post an announcement as soon as Tangle number 4 is there. So, Chapter 11, we have the discussion on physical ergonomics. The assignment is to do a social organizational ergonomics. And we have the Tangle discussion number 3 still going on AI. And we have another Tangle that's going to be posted this week. So, fun to be had by y'all. Any questions about this? Please read all the instructions very carefully. try to work on those instructions to help you along the way in the course book, and so you can get to this assignment with as little problem as you possibly can. It is a technical skill to learn, so I'm expecting there to be, some challenges in playing around with PowerPoint or Keynote. It seemed to come pretty easy once I was doing this. So I hope you have the same experience. So that's this week on the interface between technology and human beings, the world of ergonomics. And have a great week. Take care.